All right, King Sir abused Devil Trigger. I'm actually doing pretty good, but okay. I say I'm doing pretty good. Please bear in mind, I am doing a lot of enemy stepping and a lot of trickster. Our king has arrived.
TCNick,
How's it
my
going?
guy.
Oh my, I've got you a little bit loud. I'm gonna turn that down just a wee bit.
Oh, am I
How
too
are you,
loud?
man?
Just a little wee bit.
Well, I can turn it down on my end too. My mic is a bit loud.
Oh, okay.
Is that any better?
Yeah, it's okay. Here, I'll just real quick let me say something.
Hello, how is it going?
All right, that's pretty good, I think. It is going well. It is going very well indeed.
How are you,
Good
man?
to hear. No, yeah, I'm good, thanks. Been pretty busy the whole day. Just kind of, what's it called, editing and stuff, because
Oh, there goes Luz.
I had the day off from work, so I was just like, gotta take advantage of YouTube.
I feel that. Yeah, no, I got off early and I immediately went to working on my. I'm currently working on a Devil May Cry 5 video that is going to, ironically, be about 5 hours long. So yeah, it's
Jeez.
and unlike us just chatting, this is something I had to script and do a lot of editing for. So.
Oh, nice. I mean, those are, I always feel like when you edit for something that you genuinely enjoy, like I'm assuming you're a big Devil May Cry 5 fan, if it's like 5 hours long, so it's like, I don't mind it as much, you know? Like it's like a passion project when it comes to that stuff.
Oh yeah, faux show. So I guess we should explain for our wonderful audience how we met. I guess, or well, okay. How did you find the video of me responding? I actually never asked you that.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so oh wait, is it recording right now?
Yes, we are recording.
Oh, okay. Hello, audience. Yes. Okay, so I remember, I think I saw your comment. You either tagged me in a tweet, I think it was, and I saw that, and that caught my interest. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep tabs on this guy, see what he posts. And I checked your YouTube channel every couple of like weeks or so, and like there was nothing there until one day, like I randomly decided to check it again, and then I saw it, and I saw my video there. I'm like, oh shoot, okay, I've never had anyone make a video about me, so I was super interested, and yeah, just watched the whole thing.
Oh dang, well okay. Did you watch our coverage of the other guy or just like our coverage of your video?
No, I'm a bit narcissistic. Just my part. I watched.
Nope, I totally get that. Our coverage of the other guy was. Let me put it this way. I got a comment on my video where we covered you, and he's called Simply Dad. I got a comment from someone who was apparently a mod or admin or something on like the Shin Megami Tensei subreddit, and they said that guy is literally the reason they started banning people because he's so fucking toxic. I'm like, ooh.
Oh jeez.
Oof. Yeah, that explains a lot. He was kind of insufferable. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about the video. I didn't watch it, but I've heard a lot about it. Let's just leave it at that, you know.
I feel that.
I actually found a playlist. I searched up Simply Dad in the search bar, and I actually found a playlist of like 14 videos from different YouTubers called "So Simply Dad is kind of a bad channel," and yeah, let's just say that it seems that the larger YouTube sphere doesn't have very positive opinions of simply bad.
Oh jeez. Yeah, I don't know. I don't wanna trash talk the guy. He made his stuff, and yeah, everyone has their own opinion. So I mean, I don't know how toxic he has been, to be fair. So if he actually like genuinely has said toxic things, then that's a different story. But I don't know much.
He basically said that anyone who engages in the romances of Persona games is a certified pedophile. It's like, oh, okay, buddy. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's a little yikes.
That's a little cringe, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But
It's a little toxic, you might even say.
well, it is. Yeah, it's not great. But oh wow, there's a new epic rap battle of history: Ragnar Lodbrok versus Rich. I probably mispronounced the shit out of that. Versus Richard the Lionheart. Yeah, epic rap battles. I think they're cool.
Imagine watching epic rap battles in fucking 2020.
Shut up. Hey, they're pretty good. Some of them are. But yeah. So I guess the subject of today is good old Persona 3, but a remake. Oh my god. So I guess we'll just do a little bit of a roundabout. We'll start with Luce, and then we'll do me, and then we'll save the best for last. And I guess Luce, what would you what would you expect and what would you want from a remake of P3? Lose?
Well, I would definitely expect them to just completely and totally just nuke the fucking Ken social link. First of all,
Oh yeah, if they were to have fucking FemC
Just-
from Portable.
cut it. Just make Chihiro the social link, except you can't romance her because you're a girl, because Japan. But yeah, that's the first thing I would do if I wanted a remake of P3. Just fuck that entire social link. And also, if you are gonna include FemC, maybe don't have Shinjiro just survive the gunshot.
Oh, I should.
Please?
I guess I should ask Nick. Have you played the portable version or heard about what portable version did to P3 and all of its stuff?
I haven't played it. I've heard those changes they made. I don't know, I've heard about the Ken stuff and the Shinji thing, but yeah, I knew a few things here and there, but I didn't play the game.
Gotcha. Yeah, I started portable when I had a Vita many moons ago, but I never beat it.
Gotcha.
They also limited the weapons that you could use for both characters, and I'm not too big of a fan of that, so
That was kind of weird. Yeah, I remember.
cut that too. But yeah, I mean, I guess I personally don't have much that I would change about P3. Obviously, Atlas themselves would probably make it to where you could control your party members, which fine, I guess. But overall, I don't really have much I would change. Obviously, I would definitely change the inherited skills system to where you could actually
Oh, you don't have to reroll.
choose this. Yeah, you could choose the skills that you inherit rather than having to reroll. That's something that's really fucking annoying and will always be annoying no matter what.
Dude, when I was rolling for Thanatos and he has 6 abilities and I'm just like, ugh, I need all of them to be something good. Fuck me. That was annoying. I guess for me, the big thing that okay, I'll say what I want and what I don't want to just to, I guess, make that a little bit clear. So, the big thing I don't want is for it to be like P5, where where colors are just splattering all over the fucking place and it's super bright, heavy contrast. Because I just don't think that. I get that some people just kind of dig that, and that's perfectly fine, but for me, I just don't think that really fits Persona 3, where it's really, it's brooding, atmospheric, it's just kind of, it's sad boy stuff. I don't think those heavy splattering colors all over the place really fit it. I don't think it would look bad. I think, honestly, it would look great. It's just, I don't know, it'd be weird. Especially, imagine playing the last month of Persona 3, but with, the color scheme, switching the red with blue, I guess. The color scheme idea of P5. I don't know. That'd be a little weird for me. But as far as what I would want, I don't know, what would I change other than the most obvious stuff. I guess I would have it to where there's more in the city, because it feels like there's just not too much to do, especially at night. Night is fucking. You have what's his name? Salesman boy.
Sonica?
Yeah.
Sonica, yeah.
Yeah, he's fucking based. I love him. There's him, and then there's Tower Social Link, which is great. It's one of the best social links in that game. And then that's about it. And they only appeared after a few months. So it's like, I get it. They want most of the time to be spent in Tartarus, but there's people like me. There's a lot of people like me who just go through as much of Tartarus in one night as they can, and they get pretty far, and then they get to that gate where they're stopped, and then at that point it's like there's not much of a reason to go back other than farming for a couple of nights, and then beyond that you're just waiting for the next story event. So yeah, I would probably want more in Tartarus too. Tartarus, I like it overall. I think it's actually one of the better Persona dungeons, but there's not a lot to do other than just kind of your typical ancient PS2 era JRPG dungeon crawling and all that stuff.
I would like to make one addendum.
Oh, yes?
I would be very worried how they would handle the music. Because I love the music in P3. I'll admit it could stand to have a little more variety in it.
Yeah.
But I would be very worried how they did that.
I think I'd be fine if it was changed to sound more like the movie, because the movie's soundtrack is pristine, but that's about as far as I think I would go with that. But,
Yeah, I feel like the one thing I know I can trust the Persona series with is music. So that's like something I wouldn't be worried about personally.
yeah, I feel that. But yeah, Mr. Nick, what would be something you would want, and then something you would not want to be changed?
Oh, just one? I had a whole list. No, I'm joking. I think so. Okay, changes instantly. The first thing that comes to mind: social links for the boys. You know, I need Aki's social link. I need Junpei's social link. Those are one of my favorite parts of the Persona games, and so I feel like not having them for the bros, it hurts. So that's one thing. Like right off the bat, I would want. Let me think. Definitely, I gotta say, bro, I need there to be able to control my teammates. That's something I can't do it. I can't have the AI control it. I want to play as them,
or at least have the option, because P5 has the option to let them do.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If it has both options, so be it. But as long as I get to like the option to control my party, I'll be happy. I'd also like the thing with Tart is like I don't know how they could change it without like it would be really complicated to change Tart. But it's also like the way it is now, it works, but I also don't like it just because I don't like grinding. That's just me. And so it's like I feel like it would be really, really tough to change Tart if they do. And so I wouldn't know how to work around that. But besides that, I think I like you said, like things like at night would be really cool. Besides those two social links and Tart, and there's probably other stuff, but I think those are the big things that come to mind, at least for me.
Let me cuck Junpei out of Chidori. Fucking let me do it.
Oh no, that's jeez.
No, stop.
That'd be so horrible. Imagine, oh my god, cause you fucking I don't even know how that like you do the thing, because in S.E.E.S you can ensure that Chidori survives, and like by doing that she's like, hey, you're kind of cool, and it's like, oh my god. Fucking imagine.
How the fuck do you even do that?
You talk to Junpei when Chidori's in the hospital, and he asks you questions basically about, I don't remember what they are. It's basically about like whether or not he should see her, or what he should say, stuff like that. And if you give him the right answers, basically, it leads to Chidori being left alive. It's really weird.
Ew.
I don't like it. It's not great, but yeah.
Is she not alive in Persona 3? I remember that, and I thought that was just like part of the game. Like, has it not always been there?
Yeah, no. That in the original P3, Chidori just died, and I didn't even know about the ability to let her live until I watched. There's another YouTuber I like. He's called Fither, and he talks a lot about Persona and also JoJo's, but I don't watch JoJo, so I don't really watch that stuff. But yeah, that's how I figured out about it. I was like, oh, that's weird.
Interesting.
Yeah. But anyone here play fucking Persona Dancing in the Moonlight?
I actually did play a little bit of Dancing in Moonlight, and big oof is all I'm gonna say.
Can you actually play
That's a good way to describe it.
Can't you play
big oof?
Can't you actually dance as a door? Or am I mistaken?
I actually no. Unfortunately, as far as I didn't get far enough into it to be able to unlock all the costumes, so I don't know if there's a door costume or anything. But it was not good. I'm gonna be honest. Like the music, most of the remixes I wasn't a fan of, partially because of the fact that half of them didn't even actually sound like the original songs. Like they sounded like completely different fucking tracks. And there's also the fact that I don't know. I actually like rhythm games to an extent, but for some reason, having like all of my button prompts spread all around the fucking screen rather than just being in one linear track, it's kind of annoying a little bit. And then of course there's also the story, which nobody's surprised what I saw of it was shit, and not even the voice actors could save it. They tried their best, but they just didn't sound good. There was something about everybody's performance that was very off, and they also like gave voice lines to Makoto,
Oh,
or
that's weird.
main
Really?
character. Yeah, they actually gave Makoto voice lines.
Oh my gosh.
And it's kind of weird. They do this thing where they give him voice lines, but they also give him like dialogue choices, and I don't remember if they're voiced or not, but I'm pretty sure they're not. And of course, like every character has like lines that they'll say in the middle of their dance numbers, which you can turn off, thank fucking God, because they say the same like 5 lines every fucking like 2 seconds.
Jesus
It's not like every 2 seconds, but it feels like it's every 2 seconds. And
I've been
yeah,
waiting for this.
and the dance numbers themselves that I saw weren't very like inspired either. Obviously there's mass destruction, which everybody loved, but for the most part it was all just kind of like bland choreography. And then there was also, you could also get a DLC.
I was not expecting this like actually elaborate breakdown of Persona 3 dancing.
I need to discuss this. I've never had the chance to discuss this with anyone else, but I've played it and I need to get this shit off my chest. There's also a DLC to have a dance number with Shinji.
Oh no!
I saw
and if you get the DLC, you get all of his costumes and stuff, so you can see him without a beanie, which is cursed as fuck.
Oh no!
Believe me.
Oh,
and he also has like a ponytail hairstyle, which is even more cursed. I didn't think you could get more cursed than Shinji without a beanie.
Give me Mohawk Shinji. Do it.
They also gave him a bathing suit.
Oh no!
And a butler suit. And also a velvet room suit.
You know, I could actually, I want to see my boy Shinji in a butler
so like
suit.
The actual like number of costumes was pretty good, I would say. But yeah, he did. I'm pretty sure his dance number was "Battle Hymn of the Soul," which I don't remember if you remember.
He
Nick,
was
but it's
dead during.
Yeah, he was dead during, and he's actually in the Knicks arena doing the dance number.
Why?
I don't fucking know, but his dance number is bad. It's just like they try to have it where he's like all cool and shit, and because like he's not moving around much because he's like all cool and he's not very expressive, but it's just bad. It just doesn't doesn't fucking look good.
That is weird.
So yeah, from what I saw of the game, I didn't play much of it. Not worth it. It's not very good, and the story is also shit, which everybody expected. Like, Elizabeth pulls everybody into like this weird fucking velvet dreamland and is like, hey, so like my sister Margaret had a client that danced a lot and it was really cool, so now I want to make you guys dance in this dreamland indefinitely. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
Isn't Margaret in Persona 3 Portable?
No, Margaret is not in. I don't think she's in Persona 3 Portable. I think she's only in P4. So yeah, that was really fucking weird. And everybody, rather than being like, "Get me the fuck out of here, you weird white-haired person whom I've never seen before," but Makoto is oddly familiar with. No, they're just like, "Yeah, let's fucking do it. We've got infinitely more important things to be worrying about in the real world. But fuck it, let's spend some time in the infinite dreamland doing some dancing and killing shadows with funky fresh beats."
One last thing I had to ask about, because I recently watched it and it was funny as hell. I don't remember the name of the channel, but Persona 3 Abridged. It is spectacular. I'll send you all a link if you haven't seen it. It is funny as hell. And there's this one line where Makoto's like, it's like, I'll just go back to my room where the blue lady's waiting in my closet. And Yukari's like, wait, is that actually a thing? And the rest just ignore him completely. Like, Yukari's always like, why the fuck is Makoto being so weird? And everyone's just like, yeah, it's whatever. Love him.
So she's the straight man.
Shit. Yukari's straight? I don't know about that one, Chief, but, yeah, anyways. So,
what?
I mean, I ain't a romancer, but it's whatever. Nick, I posted a link to this wonderful little website in the room I made in it called Watch Together, where we can watch the YouTube video together.
Bet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna chow down on some fucking wheat thins.
Okay. And this video is by Gabby Extreme 363. I don't know who this person is, but hey, they have a video about Persona 3 Remake, and I'm down for it.
Let's see it.
Let us see. Okay, well, first thing I'm gonna do is, because a lot of Persona videos like to start off with music, and I don't want to get copytismed, so I'm gonna play it and let me know if it's playing music.
Alright. Yes.
Is like, are they talking or is it like just music?
They're
It's
talking.
both.
Oh, okay. In that case, I don't mind that because typically if you're talking over it, they don't normally care, and it's whatever. I'll turn it just.
You know, I don't know about fucking Persona 3 remake, but if Atlas wants to actually release Persona 3 on modern platforms, that'd be delightful.
Yeah, it's on PS3, but not the 4 or 5, and I'm just like, Persona 4 is on
Release
PC, but not 3. Like, why?
Yeah, release it on release it on PC so I can have mods, please. Thanks.
Oh, jeez.
I guess the struggle is just figuring out whether to do the original FES or portable or just mixing them all somehow. I get it.
I would probably do FES because I would imagine most people aren't too keen on the visual novel style of portable.
Yeah, but people love FemC, so.
People do love FemC, but fuck her, I don't care.
All right, but yeah, let's just let me make sure everything's set up good. Okay, yeah. So let's go.
After having enjoyed Persona 5, I decided that I wanted to play its predecessors because I thought I would enjoy them. I went in backwards and began with the best version of Persona 4 out there, being Persona 4 Golden. When I was researching which version to play, there was a clear consensus from the people online that Golden was the best way to go. With it also being hailed as the only reason to get a Vita, I was admittedly curious. I picked up a used Vita and copy of Persona 4 Golden, and for the next 2 weeks, it was my go-to single-player game. I didn't enjoy it as much as I did Persona 5, but that by no means is me saying
You're
that I
echoing
didn't
a
like
little
it.
bit.
It was a fantastic game, but there were a few things that I think P5 did better, allowing for a more enjoyable experience. That said, I still think P4 has a more engaging story and much better chemistry between its characters, so I can perfectly understand this being a lot of people's favorite Persona game. Then there's Persona 3.
Oh gosh. Nick, what do you think of P4 Golden? Because I remember there was like one little snippet in your video where you were like, "Hey, I love it," but
Dude, I could talk about P4G all day. By far my favorite in the series. I really, really like it.
nice.
Like, I think it's the story that gets to me more than anything. I feel like it doesn't even have my favorite characters. Like, I hate so many characters in P4. like, it's just, like, but it's fine. You know, at the end of the day, like, the story really just carries it
Who's
for
your
me.
favorite P4 character? Or at least one of them?
P4, I think it's among Nanako, Chie, or Kanji. Those three are my favorites.
Based. Kanji is
Kanji's
very good.
Kanji's fucking awesome. I think.
Everyone loves Kanji.
Yeah.
I do have one question for you, Nick. What's your opinion on Morgana in Persona 5?
No.
I get a lot of flack for this. I love Morgana.
Oh,
He's actually
no.
one of my favorites in P5.
No.
I know.
We can't be friends. We're no longer. No, it's done.
All right, that's it.
I'm
Cancel
kidding.
the
I'm
show.
kidding. I'm
Turning
kidding.
it off. We're done here.
Guys, my secret opinion, dude. I will fight for him. I actually really like him because he's my homie. You know, I feel like we're boys by the end of the game. I admire that about him.
I feel like I would like Morgana more if he bullied Ryuji less.
Yeah, Ryuji's my
Yeah,
homie.
that's a big thing, of course.
Like one of my least
that's the
favorite
biggest
portions.
criticism.
One of my least favorite portions of the story is where, like, for once in the fucking game, Ryuji actually like stands up to Morgana for bullying him, and then
Literally
Morgana's
just
like,
says, "Shut up." Or
"I'm
something.
I'm not appreciated around here," and then fucking runs off, even though everybody literally looks to him throughout the whole fucking game for guidance, and then just the entire sequence after that is just, it makes me puke. Up until you like that entire sequence up until Haru actually awakens her persona is just, it makes me puke inside.
I like Haru.
Because of how just stupid inside.
Haru's
Or
kind
it's
of
just stupid.
Yeah, that arc it's extremely cringe. Like, it's really bad. Like, that's like the reason people don't like Morgana. But I just kind of like, I feel like even then, like, even with that, like, because the thing is, like, I feel like it's always against Morgana. Like people kind of frame it in a way that seems like Morgana is this malicious bully that constantly tortures Ryuji. When it's like they've always had this chemistry, this dynamic where Morgana, you know, likes to make fun of Ryuji, and Ryuji just kind of takes it. And he's like, Ryuji has never shown that he has been, you know, like, actually hurt by any, like, ever. He has never shown actual, like, deep pain from anything Morgana has said.
Yeah, it's basically
and like you gotta. Yeah, and like at that one point, that one arc where it's cringe, like Morgana expresses that he's really insecure about being called useless, and like this is like the one thing that he just doesn't like, he's sensitive about. And so when he kind of keeps getting digged at that, I get it. At the same time, it's ironic considering he's like talking shit the whole game, but at the same time, Morgana never talks shit about something. Like if Morgana like talked about Ryuji's track team or how he broke his leg or some shit like that would be crazy. Like I could never like Morgana after that. But he always says like he always says like funny, like insignificant, little brother kind of thing. So I always get that vibe from him rather than anything malicious,
I get that.
I think two more things for me is that, for one, like P5 just tries really hard to make Morgana like this very like cutesy little mascot character, and that kind of shit just bugs me. It never sits well with me whenever like a story tries really hard to do that. But I suppose another problem is that it's like Morgana is kind of a microcosm of another problem I have, where a lot of characters in P5 just kind of treat Ryuji like he's a fucking idiot, and he's like, because like, Ryuji's like a very reliable guy in the long run. Like he's very committed to the cause, and yet everybody kind of just sometimes everybody just kind of treats Ryuji like poo-poo, and it just annoys me because it's like why?
I think,
he's such a reliable guy when he actually like does something he's good at, and he's so committed to the cause. Why is everybody constantly making fun of this man?
I think no matter whether or not you like Teddy more or whether or not you like Morgana more, no matter what, everyone loves Koromaru more.
It's because he's the least fucking intrusive mascot.
Fucking dog.
Honestly, Koro doesn't do anything. I was never a big fan of Koro. But
I would always take
Teddy
him for
is
walks.
definitely the worst.
Okay. Yeah. Oh,
fucking
Teddy. I
hate
like
Teddy.
Teddy. I like Teddy.
You like Teddy? Oh my god. See,
I do.
that's the thing. There's so many differing opinions.
Yeah, it's
For me,
true.
Teddy was by far the most obnoxious.
I liked Teddy once he actually got like a human body, because I just don't like Teddy's like I don't like his
uncomfortable.
I don't
the
like his shadow world design. It just never sat well with me. It just looks terrible.
I like
for me.
puns. I find them to be very hilarious.
They're unbearable,
We should probably watch the video though. So, boop. I love P3's soundtrack.
As I did with P4, I researched which version I should play, and I found that while there was a version that was more recommended, there was a bigger split in this debate. It was unanimous that Persona 3 FES was an objective improvement from the original, but the issue appears with Persona 3 Portable for the PlayStation Portable. P3P was the newest version of the game, but because it was on inferior hardware to the PS2, which both 3 and 3 FES were on, some cuts had to be made. Some major cuts. Instead of being the 3D world that you immerse yourself in over the course of a year in in-game time, Persona 3 Portable plays more like a visual novel in
It's
which
kinda
you use
weird
a
that
cursor to move around the
P3P
2D
never got
space
the,
and talk to 2D sprites.
The Kingdom
Except for when
Hearts
you're in
like Chain of
Tartarus, the
Memories
tower which you
treatment
climb over
going
the
on
course of the
PS2
game.
as an improved version or
Now,
something
while
like
that
that.
sounds like a big downgrade from its older counterparts, P3P does have a good amount of upgrades from FES that make it worth playing as well, such as, most notably, the ability to play as a female character, which brings with it two social links that the two original versions didn't have. This version also makes the game function mechanically more like Persona 4, as it was released after the original P4's release on the PS2. For most players, however, these upgrades were not enough to call the definitive version of Persona 3, which leaves the issue that I wanted to talk about in this video. Persona 3 is a fantastic game with an interesting cast of characters and a darker story that deals with the concepts of death and the value of life in very meaningful ways. Now that the original game is 13 years old, and Persona is at a high point in its lifetime as a series due to the success of Persona 5, a remake of this game would definitely be worth Atlus's time. I can also say with high confidence that I know it would sell, and this should get Atlus's attention, given how they obviously love money. But what would a remake entail? Would they remake FES?
Real quick.
Would they remake Portable?
I actually just thought of something that I meant to ask earlier and I totally just blanked on. Nick, have you played Persona 2? Or 1?
I haven't played 1. I was convinced to watch. Like, I didn't want to play 2 because like the fact that I couldn't I really didn't have a good time playing 3. They're like, watch a playthrough of 2, and I made it like halfway into the story of 2 before I just got bored. And
Oh,
didn't
so
like
you
it.
never saw the final boss of Hitler? Sorry,
No,
Fuhrer.
I did not get to see Hitler, unfortunately.
Oh, shame.
Yeah, Hitler is
That's
sure in the fucking game.
That's one of those things, because like I've seen a lot of people who are like, dude, we should get remakes of Persona 1 and 2, and I'm like, okay, So I'm totally on board because I like the story, at least what I've seen of it, of P2. I haven't played it myself. I want to someday, but then there's the issue of, okay, so companies really don't like talking about Hitler. They really don't like Hitler being in video games and movies and stuff like that. So I'm curious how they would handle that, or if they would literally just stick with fucking sunglasses wearing Fuhrer. But yeah, who knows? That would be interesting, I think, though.
I've seen like analyses of Persona 2 story, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
It seems quite excellent, and from what I hear, it's actually because I played a little bit of P1 on like a buddy's laptop. It was fucking years ago, and I was like, man, this game is. I don't want to offend any Persona 1 fans, but this game kind of fucking sucks. So
Yeah, I haven't heard good things about it. Like it's like unanimously kind of the worst one from what I hear.
I've heard people who are like, I love it, but I've never heard anyone actually defend it as like one of the better Persona games.
I've read the manga of 1, and I would absolutely say that that's the best way to consume 1's story.
Is its story any good?
It's pretty good. Yeah, its characters are fairly likable. I will say one problem I have with the manga visually is that the artists sometimes they have a little bit of trouble giving you a good sense of space. So like sometimes some of the fight scenes or stuff, or some of the shots of characters walking just don't look right because there's just not a whole lot of sense of where the fuck we are. So yeah,
okay.
But and of course because it's a manga, the actual MC Naoya Todo actually has character, and I would say like when you look at him, you kind of expect him to be a little edgy, but he's a fairly happy-go-lucky kind of guy. And
I actually really like the design of like the Saint Himmerlin, I think it's pronounced. I might be totally butchering that, but like that outfit, their uni.
Yeah, how it's just a traditional Japanese
P2's also. Outfit. I like a lot of P2's art. But anyways, yeah. I just wanted to ask about that because P2 needs more love, especially from Atlas.
From what I've seen of people online that have played Persona 2, they tend to think that Persona 2 is has the best story out of the series.
I've heard a lot of people say P2 has the best story, and a lot of people I know that love Persona 3's story especially are like, yeah, but P2, and I'm like, oh, all right.
That's the thing. I was so interested in watching, because of that, people hail it as the best story, and I fucking love stories, and so I was like, okay, I'm really interested, but dude, I literally watched the playthrough or the story that I watched on YouTube is 15 hours long. I watched 7 hours, and those 7 hours were not good. It was the characters were really good. I enjoyed them, but the story just it made no sense. And everyone just keeps telling me to watch till the end for it to make sense. But it's if I get 7 hours in and I'm not enjoying it, how can it be that good? So I'm a little bit disappointed by that.
I feel that a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, I guess, but I've talked to some people who are I just can't get into not even just P3, but other Persona games because the starts are always really slow. And I'm
I think 5 has one of the worst starting hours in the series. It drags so fucking much.
4's is pretty quick. You go to the gas station and then.
4 or 5?
4's is pretty quick. You just go to the gas station. You go to school for a couple days, and then you pretty much get straight to the TV world. It's pretty good.
When you get to 5,
I thought
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I was gonna say for me, I felt 5 it started ridiculously strong for me, but then when it got to the Yusuke portion, that's when it got really slow. So I felt the whole thing with Joker being in jail and shit, and I was just so invested from that. That was crazy to me. It was my first my first Persona game, so that for me was the most interesting. But then getting to Yusuke and Makoto kind of slowed down for me in that end.
I liked Persona 5's start when I first played it, but the second time I played it, I was like, oh my god, I'm fast forwarding so much.
Yeah, that fast forward button, I'm really glad it exists.
Bless whoever came up with that idea at the studio.
Yeah, it started in P4 Golden, and let me tell you, restarting Persona, playing a New Game Plus on base Persona 4, It doesn't have a fast forward button, and it drags as well.
Really?
I keep thinking of shit that I meant to ask before. But real quick, Nick, who is your favorite P3 bro?
Oh, bro.
Mine's Akihiko.
Oh, yeah, easily Aki.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
the king. He's the king.
I got a question for you. I actually got two questions.
Oh gosh.
I actually got two questions for both of you. Who's your favorite Persona protagonist based solely on like their design?
You. I like you, Narukami.
So, on design? Yeah, easily you. Oh, my boy. Yeah, definitely my favorite.
Any particular reasons why?
He seems like I'm biased from the show. I watched the show and I love them, but
The show's awesome.
Okay.
excluding
Yeah, the show's good.
excluding the show, he's just like alpha. Like he's the tallest of the three, and like he's just like. I thought his hair was kind of dumb at first. Not gonna lie. Like I didn't like the style, and it was like silver, but I don't know. I didn't really like P3 Makoto's design much. He and Joker. I didn't like his either. I think he would be second. I like the P3 Pro Tag the least in terms of design. So I think by default it was P4. But like after learning about the anime and stuff like that, that's when I thought, okay, this guy's pretty sick.
Since Nick said it, who's your least favorite protagonist in terms of design, Al?
Persona 1, but if we're talking about...
I hate you.
I mean, well, if we're sticking to the newer games, I would probably say Joker. I like all of their designs. Like, I don't think any of them are bad necessarily. But yeah, I'd probably go with Joker. I don't like this is my own thing. I don't like plaid, like checker color schemes. It just bothers me. I don't know.
True.
And also, he looks like a young version of Vincent from Catherine. Vincent's a fucking
Everybody, literally everybody has made that comparison.
king. Yeah.
And he does.
Yo, bring Vincent to Smash Bros. That'd be awesome. It would make. I don't know how it would fucking work. You know, he pushes blocks into you, but you know, fucking do it.
Like Steve.
Yeah.
I think my least favorite design is probably you.
Fuck you.
No.
I'm handsome.
My favorite is definitely Naoya from P1, to be honest.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
like-
I wasn't
I would-
considering P1 and P2 because I don't know.
I was
in
talking
my
about the
mind.
whole. I was talking about the whole series.
I like both of the P2 pro tags, Maya and fucking
Tatsuya.
Tatsuya, yeah.
Yeah, I would like Naoya's design more if he opened his jacket.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that would look pretty good.
Second question. What's your guys' favorite dungeon in P5?
Well, you haven't played Royal, but that one's it's pretty good. That last one they make is pretty good. Have you played Royal, Nick?
Yes, I have.
Nice. It's pretty good, ain't it? It's pretty good.
Yeah. No, I definitely liked it a lot. But in terms of my favorite, I don't remember what I enjoyed the most. I loved Makoto's just because of the music in the beginning. Price is probably my favorite dungeon theme. Such a bop, dude. Holy crap.
I dig it.
But I don't know. Yeah, no, there's no clear favorite for me.
No matter
My
what
least
you
favorite
pick,
is-
as long you'll always be right unless it's Burger Station.
Yeah, Okumura's is trash.
Yeah, my least favorite is actually a tie between S.E.E.S and Okumura's.
I like size, but it's too.
Really? You don't like size?
S.E.E.S is way too long. That's my biggest
Really?
problem.
That's true.
with-
It is really long.
That's my biggest problem with both Okumura and S.E.E.S dungeons. They're just way too fucking long. They go on for extreme amounts of time. Specifically Okumura's. Oh my god.
Not Cheetos.
Okumura's, yeah.
The bow? Most people say that
That one
the
was
longest.
forever too. That was really long. But like I feel like because it's like, you know, you think it's like the last one, so it's like, okay,
True.
this makes sense for it to be a huge mega one.
When they started turning into mice, that's when the boat kind of
Yeah.
sank
Kind of overstayed
in terms
welcome,
of my opinion on it. My favorite is actually Kanashio's dungeon, mostly for the final, like this second portion where you're in like that huge fucking vault.
True, yeah.
That was pretty sick too.
I like the puzzles for that actually.
As do I. I also like Sweatshop, which plays during Okumura's dungeon, which is weird. This is one of my favorite songs of the game. Can't fucking stand the dungeon. And also Whims of Fate is pretty fucking good.
Whims of Fate is based. I don't want anyone who's listening to think that we're like not paying attention to the video, but no, it's like they've really just kind of been describing P3 up to this point. It's like, yeah, it's pretty much.
Lynn
no
is a
spicy
really
takes
good
yet.
singer.
Yeah, no real. Oh yeah, wait, what? What about Lynn?
Lynn is fucking amazing.
Oh yeah, very good. But we shall
Queen.
continue. At the very least, you know, when they open with like just talking about it, it's like, yeah, we don't really have to pause too much unless we just want to say something like I did.
Would they remake Portable? I think the ideal Persona 3 would take the best aspects of each and put it into one game. Because now that the hardware is not a limitation, Atlas can focus on making the best game they can without having to give up large parts of the game that fans have come to love.
I like how they said the story.
Speak of the
while
damn devil.
I like showing the story while showing the dance, or saying the story while showing the dancing, and I'm just like, oh, this. Oh man, no, I just thought that was funny. Oh, there we go.
To begin, there's the question of any alteration. In that Persona 5 The Royal seems to have reworked the story so a new character can fit in. Without adding another character to P3's original story, there shouldn't be any need to change it. Although, they could take the route of a character like Marie in P4G and make the new character work around the story instead of the story working around them. But this doesn't need to be the case, as P3 has a solid story and set of characters, and I see no reason to add any new party members. Then there's the question of the answer from S.E.E.S. Despite the answer's unpopularity within the community for how it handles the character.
Interesting.
What do you think of the answer? Have you played it, Nick?
I watched it because playing it is like just grinding. So no, I watched it. I fucking love Aegis. So anything with extra Aegis in it, I'll take it. But as a whole, like I've heard a lot of people dislike it. I like some people have said like it's better if it hadn't existed in the first place, which was an interesting take for me to hear. Overall, I kind of like it. I think it was interesting. I think I haven't watched it in a while, so like I struggle to remember the aspects of the story. Like for example, like why the fuck did they have to fight again? Like that for me, kind of like I forget why. That was so badass. First of all, like I've always like for some like it was a deep, what's it called? I've always wanted to see like how they would fare against each other, like in any Persona game. And this was like the one chance we got to see it. I was hyped as hell to see that, but it made no sense now that I think about it. But overall, I don't know. I kind of liked it. I just like seeing more of Aegis.
Yeah,
to be honest.
I'm in the same boat. Aegis is best toaster, best waifu by far, if you ask me, as far as Persona goes. Aegis is fucking awesome. I love her, and her entire arc I think is really good. I like the idea of. I haven't played the answer, to be fair. I know about most of it. I like the idea of fighting. Because isn't it shadow versions of the other?
No, it's them.
Or is it? Oh, it's actually just.
Yeah, no. Essentially, what happens is if I'm remembering correctly, at the end of the answer, they have the choice of either leaving Makoto sealed as the Great Seal to keep the manifestation of darkness, Erebus, from reaching Nyx, which will end the world, or they can unseal Makoto and they'll have to fight Nyx again. And of course, because of the fact that they lost the first time, they're just going to lose again. And everybody, if I'm not mistaken, everybody but Aegis essentially says, fuck that, we're reviving him. And Aegis is like, no, you can't do that. And so she just fucking murks everybody.
Damn, kind of badass.
Queen,
kind of based.
yes.
Kind of a queen.
Yeah, that's why she's the best.
Also, one thing that kind of annoyed me was her persona changes from Athena to Orpheus.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's weird. I don't like that actually.
And the thing is, I don't understand why.
So,
I can see no conceivable reason why they would do that.
For me, I like the idea of an expansion telling us what happened with Protag, but I don't like and I don't like when they do it with any character, when they're like, oh, we can bring him back. I'm like, no, the whole fucking point of the story is that death is final. Like, please stop with this. And I get, magic-tisms with the Protag and all, but I like the idea of a journey, like an expansion journey, where they go to figure out what happened with the Protag, and even the idea of Erebus. like if Erebus were to like try and undo that, like that's a cool idea. But
Yeah, because like Erebus was created by Nyarlathotep,
yeah,
who is basically the main series villain.
yeah, I was gonna say he's the boss of P2. I know that.
Yeah, he's basically just the main series villain, and Erebus was supposed to reach.
Oh wait, so
if I'm remembering correctly, Erebus was supposed to reach Nyx so that they could destroy the world together. Because
they name drop Nyarlathotep?
I don't remember if they name dropped Nyarlathotep, but I know that Erebus was created by Nyarlathotep because he's essentially the manifestation of all of like. I know that Nyarlathotep is the manifestation of all of the negative emotions that humans carry with them. I'm pretty sure Nyarlathotep or Erebus is the manifestation of all of humanity's darkness and their dark desires and stuff like that. If I'm remembering correctly, feel free to correct me in the comments.
Yeah. I'm fine with them. I mean, even though I don't really like it, I think it'd be fucking weird if they were to remake the game and not have the answer. That would just, I don't know, it'd be kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
just ignoring
know.
it would feel strange.
I don't know like what everybody's opinion on this, but I would have preferred if the exact details of Makoto's death were left somewhat ambiguous as to what happened.
Yeah. I'm fine with them talking about it or not talking about it. I just don't stop bringing characters back or giving the, I guess, option or, you know, open. That's I don't know, it's a rabbit hole as far as writing goes. So, I don't know. It's, I'd be interested if they were like, we're going to do the answer, but we're going to change it. And I'd be like, oh my god, what's going to be? That'd be cool. Let me rewind just a wee bit.
Despite the answer's unpopularity within the community for how it handles the characters in a way that ruins them, not including something as large as a 30-hour postgame would take away from this game being the definitive edition.
Yeah.
While I doubt making too many changes to the story would be possible or even practical, without making it into something completely different, it being included with the game as a separate game mode as it was in S.E.E.S would be the best way to go.
Yep.
Although, if there were a way to transfer progress from your party members from the main game to the answer, that would be something. In short, the plot is fine and has no need for any changes.
I don't know, would you say there's no need for changes in P3's plot? I don't know.
I would have to go back and play it again, because I haven't played it in a while to remember anything specific, but I'm sure there's something we could find that might need some tweaking.
The big thing for me would be giving me more Strega, because they're really under... Well, Chidori's fine, but Takaya and Jin are like nothing. They're just fucking bad dudes who want to bring... Well, I don't even know if they know about... I don't even know if they know about Nyx at first, but eventually they're like, oh, Nyx, yeah, we want to... fucking, yeah.
Pretty sure they find out through research that they dug up from the Karijo group.
Yeah. They're fucking groupies. Like, that's all I can really say about them. They're fucking Nyx
groupies. We definitely need more expansion on the Strega enemies.
Because I think, like, their boss fights are cool, and I like their voice actors. And their designs are... Well, I don't know about Jin's, but Takai's is pretty cool. He looks like Jesus, but he's evil, so it's like, no, Jesus, why? You know.
Yeah, they had like that one line of dialogue between them that kind of explains like their backstory, but it's literally like one like a line of dialogue or two like it's nothing, and that's all you get, and it's like the last battle you have with them. So it's like we could definitely like the Strega definitely felt underwhelming at points when they were like they had such big like ramifications for the game.
Yeah, well, and just the whole concept of like, holy fuck, your persona's trying to kill you. Like, like we see how it affects Shidori. We see how it affects Shinji. Fuck, that sentence is weird. But like, we don't really. Takaya and Jin, they're just like, yeah, we take our pills because. It's like,
yeah, we definitely need expansion on them living with inferior personas to everybody else. Also, fun fact, Jin's persona is Hypnos, who is the brother of Thanatos.
And yet he's such a pushover. Little bitch bro. But yeah. Visual changes. Oh boy. Ooh. This might be where a hot take I don't know, I haven't seen the video. It might be where a hot take comes in. I don't know. Stop dancing.
One of the biggest updates to the game would be a visual revamp. Its successor, Persona 5, is widely praised for its fantastic UI, and one of the first places to start would be with an update to P3's UI. but still maintaining the game's original style. I had seen a few really cool mock-ups on Reddit a while ago, and I can't seem to find them for the life of me. But if they prove anything, it's that Persona 3 could look really nice in a more modern style while still maintaining its aesthetic. The models from
That UI
P3D
kills
look
me.
fantastic, but as they are too high poly to be used throughout most of the game, new models will likely have to be added. Speaking of P3D, we've seen that Gekko-kan has already been modeled, and contrary to the characters, I think that, other than the need for it to be completed, the school's already well modeled, which minimizes the amount of extra work necessary there. Same with the dorm as well. The textures of the game, of course, would also receive a graphical overhaul. Something that I would personally really want from a remake is for the animated cutscenes to be reanimated in the style of the Persona 3
I like that
movies.
idea.
They
True.
look really clean, and I think they would fit really well in the game. A few cutscenes could also be added in other areas of the game that aren't as plot-heavy, like the beach trip or festival in P5 or the scooter scene in P4.
Oh yeah,
Really
that's
anything that
another
would
thing
add more to the
actually. The like the beach trip and the trip to shoot, it's where you're in. It's the hot springs shtick. I don't remember.
Kyoto, I
I
think.
think it's Kyoto.
Oh yeah.
Just having more, because like the first day in Kyoto, you just talk to people and go to bed. Like literally nothing happens.
Yeah, it's
Kyoto was so underwhelming.
Yeah.
It's unfortunately this weird trend in modern Persona games that kind of bugs me, where they give you the illusion of like you being able to actually do stuff on these field trips that your party members and stuff go through, but in
Yeah.
reality, they may as well just be cutscenes because you get to do quite literally nothing.
I do like in P5 when you go to
Facts.
Hawaii, like well, you don't, not even depending on who you romance, you can just kind of pick whoever you go to the beach with. I'm like, that's cool. I like that. You know, you can hang out with Ryuji. You can, if you're like me and you're a fucking deviant, you can go out with Kawakami. You know, it's all kinds of stuff you can do.
I do kind of like how in the beach trip, you know, the sequence of Akihiko, Makoto, and Junpei trying to pick up, you know, smoking babes is actually, it's pretty charming, I would say. It's one of the more charming examples of a field trip in the series, but overall, yeah, they may as well just be cutscenes. Also, Deep Breath is amazing.
Oh, Deep Breath's fucking awesome. If they threw in like optional dialogue for the like when you're trying to pick up chicks, like if you could be like when you know pro tag, you can like really, you can say something really awkward, or you can actually try and flirt, and it's like if you have high enough charisma, you're just a fucking stud, or something like that. Yeah, I think it'd be cool.
Every time I think of the beach, I just think of the movie where everybody's off having fun and Makoto is just fucking staring at a crab.
Oh my
Crab.
god. Oh man, you gotta watch P3 Abridged. It's fucking. I'll show it to you after this, Luce, if you want to just chill out and watch some.
Potentially, yes. Mm-hmm.
You as well, Nick. Although I believe you said you were busy, so you know.
Mhm.
But yeah, everyone go check out P3 Abridged. It's really good.
Chemistry of the cast. Adding to the remade cutscenes would be the openings. Remade versions of Burn My Dread and Soul Phrase would be really cool, along with an updated version of the FES opening as well. Perhaps, as is the theme for newer versions of Persona games, a new opening could be added as well. I would be very curious to see how a song in Persona 3 style would be created 13 years after the game's initial release, but I have faith in Shoji Meguro. He could definitely figure something
So
out.
do I.
Yep.
Shoji is a very talented musician.
I'm down for soundtrack remakes. I just I need them to stay true to the original spirit.
After having played Persona 4
Yeah.
and 5, I was shocked to see how primitive the social link system in Persona 3 felt as compared to its successors. A much needed change would be to make it so that every guy or girl you start a social link with isn't romantic by default, because that was a massive nuisance when I was playing FES. I'm not entirely opposed to keeping the ability
Yeah, Ken, even if in Persona 3 Portable, if you wanted to hang out with Ken, it's like, ooh, you
Just fucking nip that social link entirely, please.
I mean,
Atlas.
wow.
Nuke it from the earth.
I'm fine with keeping the social link. Just fucking nip the romance.
Not the romance. Not the
Yeah,
romance.
that's the biggest thing. Like that was so annoying. Like I had to romance everyone I got to level 9 or 10 with. So obnoxious. Like
Yeah.
I don't like everyone that much.
Like, it didn't bother me. It didn't bother me specifically, but it's absolutely a problem. Like
It
was,
would be nice if you could just be like friends with them rather
Yeah.
than just having to
Yeah.
date them.
That'd be
'Cause
nice.
I remember,
Especially since the game like tells you that if you date multiple people, you could potentially get in trouble
Yeah.
with one of your girlfriends, which is annoying considering that's essentially means that unless you want to be a complete or seen as a complete fucking dickhead by everybody, you have to do one romance per playthrough, which means that like at the least, if you were to do that, you'd have like to do like five playthroughs at the very least to get every romance option in the game, which ooh.
I like, because like every Persona game has like a 100% walkthrough, right, where it's like, all right, on these days go do this, on these days go, blah 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 blah, you want to be here at this point and all that stuff, and it's like they all tell you how to max out each social link per playthrough. And so for Persona 3, they're basically, it's just a guide on how to cheat and be a piece of shit. Whoops, let me...
Nick, you still alive?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Cool.
Okay, cool.
You guys just kind of said what I was thinking, so all good.
Yep.
I'm not entirely opposed to keeping the ability to make social links reverse when you make a choice that isn't as respectful towards someone, as it does add an element of realism to the game.
Yeah, I think they
but
should
the
keep
romance
that.
options most definitely need to be reworked. Another major rework that needs to come back from Portable is that the male members of your party can also be social links. Playing
True.
S.E.E.S, I found it to be the most baffling thing that I could not just go get some ramen with Junior.
Let me hang out with the boys.
Instead, I could only have
Bro.
social links with the female members of my team.
What if they added a sport school extracurricular thing where you can go boxing with Akihiko? Oh, that'd be awesome.
Boy.
That'd be
I think what annoyed me most about like the girls in my team was you had to max it out too in order to hang with them. You couldn't just you had to max out your stats in order to chill with any of them. That was so
Yeah.
annoying. So you had to wait like months to finally if it's your first playthrough to be able to chill with them, and that was just so annoying.
Yeah, but in
Yeah.
P5, for the most part, you just have to increase it in increments.
I kind of...
Yeah, exactly.
Which is definitely a lot better. So if they do lock it behind if they do lock some of these social links behind stats, which I don't see why they wouldn't, then yeah, that's definitely something I would change, is make it to where you don't have to increase it all the fucking way. Because I wasn't actually able to... the only character that I romanced on my first playthrough in my team was Yukari, because that was the only stat that I had at the top.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to wait till my second playthrough till I could
Oof.
actually romance Mitsuru.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it was rough. I remember I was in my last month. I had Fuka and Yukari, and I had Mitsuru and Aigis both at level 3 or level 4 or something, and I had to basically choose who I wanted to see their entire social link. I chose Aigis, of course, but still, I felt bad because I
Good
wanted
choice.
to Mitsuru was cool and stuff, but
Oh, yeah.
what's it called? I wanted to be able to see hers too, but no, I had to choose, which kind of sucked.
I'm fine with a character like Mitsuru, where it's like you need high enough intelligence because she's that kind of character, right?
yeah.
Where she just she just
Alpha.
won't fucking talk to she's a fucking alpha. But like Yukari is constantly approaching the protagonist, but then as soon as protagonist approaches her, she's like, no, you're not charming enough. You can't fucking talk. What are you fucking doing? It's like, oh, okay. I mean, you're fucking...
Yeah.
Like, she's thirsting after me really hard, but as soon as I talk, that's annoying.
Or like how you have to be a complete and total fucking badass to talk to Fuka.
Yeah.
That's the funniest thing. Fuka only talks to badasses. Oh my gosh, amazing.
Yeah. like Akihiko's like 1 point away from max, and she's like, I'm not gonna fucking talk to you, you dork. He's like,
But then Shinjiro by default has it to max.
That's so funny.
fucking Ken doesn't have a chance with anyone. Poor guy.
Fuck Ken.
Koromaru has a chance with everyone. He's obviously got max stats with everything. Oh, I just thought of something random. Nick, did you go with to walk Koromaru on like January? It's like the day before all of you go to fight Nyx.
The day before? No, I don't think I did.
If you go for a walk with Koromaru, like the whole squad comes with you, and you're all just hanging out at the park. It's fucking awesome.
Really? That's so cute.
I need more scenes like that, please.
Oh, actually, the scene where you get sick, scene I get whatever, where you get sick for a week because of like the typhoon. They could add some, even just a few scenes, like a handful of scenes where you're just talking to other people inside the dorm. That'd be cool.
Yeah, dude. I feel like that was the biggest thing with P3. Like, it felt like the cast was a bunch of coworkers instead of like tight homies. Like
Right.
P4, P5, I definitely felt that more homie aspect than I did by far than with P3. And like you guys said, like having those moments where you could just chill together would be like all I need.
I like the idea of in P3, none of you start off as friends except for arguably Yukari, but you grow closer. That's cool and all, and I think it kind of, it earns that moment where it's like power of friendship, whatever, against Nyx. But I think it does, thinking, because I've been playing a little bit more of it, it does take a while before you actually start being friendly with people. Akihiko's cool right off the bat, because Akihiko's fucking amazing. He's the best character in Persona. But, other than that, I like
I also like the scenes in the summer where you could take friends from the dorm to the movies.
Oh yeah, that was cute.
Did you ever take Koromaru to the movies?
I did.
Oh my god, it's the best scene. Did you do it, Nick?
I think that's
I don't remember. Maybe.
So
I think
if you,
I think that's one of my favorite sequences in the game, to be honest.
oh yeah, if you try to take Koromaru to the movie theater, what happens is your protag tries to take him in, and he tells the theater people, the employees, that it's a lifelike stuffed animal, and but you get kicked out because they see through it, and Koromaru's sad, and then you can offer to buy him the DVD when it comes out, and he gets really happy.
That's
and
nice.
various people around the school and accompanying areas. This includes Kenji, the most insufferable person in Persona 3.
I don't know about him.
I wouldn't go that far.
I mean,
Its face. Not to mention that all you really do
who's pausing?
Sorry, my cat is laying on my table, and she's a little fucking princess, so she has to sprawl out on the table, and she occasionally just pushes the space bar.
Naturally.
Little shit, little fucker. I love you though. Mwah.
But Kenji, he's annoying, but I don't know if he's the worst. I don't know.
He's not the most insufferable. I
Actually-
would definitely say that probably goes to Moon.
Yeah, I was about to say, now that I think about it, it's the Moon Social Link. Did you ever do that one, Nick?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
I like them. The moon? Wait. Which guy?
The fat boy? Nozomu?
I thought you guys were talking about the monk for some reason.
Oh,
What
no,
were you guys
that's,
talking about?
No, that's Tower. Yeah, that guy's awesome.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know if you've seen him at any point before this, but there's like this kind of fat kid who hangs out in Polonia Mall, and like in order to
Yeah, no, I did his link.
Yeah, he's a twat. I don't like it. Funny enough, the Sun Social Link. Ooh, it's the best one, and it's the best one in Persona, I think. It's, Akinari, the sick boy. Oh man.
That was a good one.
who is also in this exact same pose as Messiah in his artwork.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I don't know if there's a reason why they share it, or they share a pose, or if it was just
I honestly think it's
convenience.
coincidental. Possibly.
They might have just been like, "Oh hey, Akinari's design. Are you okay over there? Akinari's design is kind of like Messiah's, so let's just put him in the same pose." I don't fucking know.
Yeah. I think it's kind of based. Not gonna lie.
Not to mention that all you really do is listen to him drone on and on about his delusions from the beginning, obviously having no base in reality.
It's thirsty as
Well,
hell.
I don't like him and would much rather have Junpei as a magician social link.
Yeah.
Helps it
There
feel
you
like
go.
getting rid of some of the original.
Very much
Junpei or
so,
Kenji?
yes.
Room for your male party members.
Hard choice.
Junpei or who?
Junpei or Kenji? It's a tough one.
Ooh yeah. Yeah.
Coin flip, honestly.
Yeah, it's a complete toss.
Now Shinjiro and the old couple, that's a bit of a harder choice, not gonna lie.
Either.
Yeah, old couple was cute.
Well, I'm gonna make you all choose Aigis or Akinari, the sick boy.
I guess free. I didn't even have to think about it.
Wouldn't a better comparison be Aigis and the fucking Yugo, since they're both Chariot Arcana?
No, Akinari's the best boy, so I was pitting the
Fuck.
best boy against best girl, you know? I love Akihiko. He's the best boy that lives.
Well, considering the fact that Aigis actually helps take down Nyx, I'm gonna have to go with Ryuji.
Yeah, that's a pretty good choice. I don't
Wait,
know.
no, I go with Dante, featuring Dante from the Devil May
Oh,
Cry
there you go.
series. Can we
Yeah.
put him in a Persona game? I feel like that could happen.
Or Nero.
Do it.
What if Nero shows up in the P3 remake?
His fucking persona is just a fucking like spectral version of his devil
I was
trigger.
gonna say he shoots himself with blue rose in the head, but it like actually fucking hits him. But since he's a Devil May Cry character, he doesn't die.
Have you ever played Devil May Cry, Nick?
Nope. Don't know much about it.
You're missing out.
You should play. It's pretty good.
I've heard, yeah, no, maybe.
Play 1, and then play 2 for as long as you can, and then play 3 a few times, and then play 4 as long as you can, and then play 5 forever.
Okay.
No one
I'll
will
keep that
judge
note
you.
in mind.
No one will judge you if you skip 2.
No
but
one
you
will.
won't be a real gamer if you don't complete it at least once on both campaigns.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
there's 2. That's right. Yeah.
Devil May Cry 2. But anyways, we're here to talk about.
Room for your male party members might make you lose some of the original experience of the game. That said, not having such major characters as social links is very odd, and while I can keep going back and forth on this issue, I prefer a world with Junpei instead of one with Ken. One thing that should be added to the
Yeah.
social link system is something that was done in Persona 5. For everyone you formed a bond with, as you progressed your relationship with them,
True.
you would gain perks relating to how that person would be aiding the cause of the Phantom Thieves, as it would be it gaining new tactics from Hifumi, a shogi player, or learning how to convince Shadows to side with you, from Tyrannosuke, a politician. Adding these perks to the social links in P3 would give more of an incentive to talk to people that you may have not cared for at all before, and make Ken be bearable if he is not eviscerated from
Goes
the
to
game.
Kinji.
It's fun.
I sort of agree, but I also kind of wonder, like, how's the old couple going to contribute to S.E.E.S?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they contribute by giving you more personas and increasing the amount of levels you gain whenever
Well,
you've used them. So,
Yeah, I mean,
know.
I just mean like ability-wise, or
Like a perk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
perks.
they can pull shit out of their ass, you know? Like, in Persona 5, they did the most random things.
That's true.
Like, I don't know, a fortune teller, and then you can... Like, she had the most busted-ass fucking abilities, and, like, it's a fortune teller, you know? What can you realistically apply?
Playing.
and then
So
there
it's
was
like
Ryuji,
playing-
who
no.
had the single most overpowered ability in the fucking game.
Oh yeah, running through literally.
Oh,
running
where you can
through
run
these-
over them? Yeah.
Or
What? That was
Yep.
like... yeah, I was gonna say, like, that wasn't even, like, like, something a party member gives you in P5. It was just, like... You just learn that. Like, wasn't that the case? Like, Ryuji didn't even bestow it to you in P5, but in P5R, they made it, like, specifically Ryuji related.
I know
for
in
some reason.
P5R it was like
no.
rank 4 with Ryuji or something like that, but
No, it was even in the original. It was specifically Ryuji related. He just
Oh,
gave you an
really?
ability. Yeah, he just gave you an ability where, depending on your level in relation to a shadow that you ambush, you'll just instantly fucking kill them before the
Yeah.
battle begins.
No, it's busted.
that would be a useful ability in Persona 3 if they were to keep the gameplay
Very
mostly
much
the
so.
same. I think. Yeah, remember when you play at the arcade with this lonely kid, and all of a sudden your team knows how to jump a shadow and just shoot the fuck out of them?
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, exactly. That's
Get
it.
smoked, bro.
Get smoked. I'm gonna make it.
Just fucking place a PNG of Makoto and fucking get smoked at over him.
I was gonna.
That's a thing. Like, I like the more I think about it, though, like, I liked, like, some characters, like, oh yeah, I really, really liked her story, but her abilities were shit. So I was never like, as much as I really liked her, I was never too incentivized to finish her things because there were some broken ass abilities with other characters that I
Yeah.
kind of wanted more. So it's like I had to force myself to go through Hifumi, to go through Chihaya, even though they were boring as hell. Meanwhile, like, oh yeah, it's entertaining, but she had a shit ability. So it's like, what do I value more? So it's kind of an interesting kind of dilemma I had to choose between, you know?
I'd like it if they made it to where, so like party member social links, if it was kind of like you can only go so far with it depending on where you are in the story. Like at the start, you can only go to like rank 3 with Junpei, and then and after the stuff with Chidori, that's when you can go to rank 10. You know, something like that, or like with Akihiko, like you can only, or Ken, you can only rank 10 with them after Shinji, or with Yukari and Mitsuru, it's only after Yukari slaps the shit out of her at Kyoto. You know, stuff like that would be kind of cool.
I think one thing
Fire
that might be,
Emblem.
I think one thing that might be a good idea is once you reach a level 10 with your party members, you get sort of an ultimate attack that they can only gain
Yeah.
through level 10 of their social link. Kind of like how some personas have completely unique attacks that still have the properties of pre-existing ones, but they're special. Kind of like Thunder Rain from Odin, which is one of the
Busted.
most busted abilities in the game. Dear Lord.
Come to think of it, actually, hell, they have the dual persona attacks, where like if you have two personas of certain names, you can do like with if you have the Frosts, you can do like their special little attack. It'd be cool if with rank 10 of party member social links, you could do special, like if you had a specific, hell, if you had like Orpheus and you were with Junpei and he was rank 10, you could do some really cool fire attack, And then if you had like Orpheus Telos and Junpei's final persona, you could do some like, fucking mega super
Orpheus.
fire thing.
Orpheus would just fucking cover Trismegistus in fire, and Trismegistus would dive bomb the entire fucking arena.
Yeah, something like that would be cool. I love the idea of team attacks. Man, when I first played Persona 3 and I discovered cadenza, where if you have Orpheus
Apsaris and Orpheus.
Yeah, I was like, this is the coolest shit. Why is this not in Persona 4 and 5?
And the fucking ability is useful for the entire game because it restores 50% of your health.
Dude, I ran Orpheus the entire game. Like I boosted the shit out of his stats, even though he only had like 3 attacks. And I would always have S.E.E.S and whatever it's fucking called in Blue Dancer.
Apsaris.
What?
Apsaris.
Apsaris. Yeah. I would always have that in my party just so I could do cadenza because the cadenza is awesome.
Oh yeah, it's a very useful ability, and it doesn't cost too much SP either.
No, it does half your health and gives you a boost to evasion. I'm like, dang, and party. I'm like, dang, dude, this is kind of awesome.
And then there's Armageddon.
Oh,
which is real boy
Hellel?
hours. Hellel and Satan.
Satan, yeah. I love that you can summon Satan in these games. It's kind of cool.
There are a few game mechanics that Persona 3 had that either have evolved in past games or simply don't exist, and some of these should be brought back in a definitive edition. Having the option of a female protagonist was one of the biggest draws to Portable, as it was the original story with some changes that made the game feel different when compared
I'd say
to
it
the
was
male
probably the
protagonist.
biggest draw.
A definitive edition of Persona 3 would be woefully incomplete without this alternate storyline and a few new changes that could be added to make it even more different and enticing to play, so that the male and female protags can have as diverse of an experience as possible while still being the protagonists of the same story. Getting tired was a mechanic in Persona 3 that I did not like at first, as it was not present in Persona 4 and beyond. However, as I played P3 more and more, it grew on me, and removing it would take away from the experience of the daily struggles you have to follow, as it is one of the biggest...
I think, if I remember correctly, Nick does not like getting tired in P3.
Anybody who doesn't like getting tired but is okay with Morgana telling you when to go to sleep, get out of my house.
Wow.
Listen, I just think it's so unnecessary. What is the point? It's like, I don't know. It makes, like, why add it? It just only takes away from the game. Doesn't make it any better.
For me,
why include it?
For me, it sells the idea that, well, for one, as far as game balancing, it keeps you from getting too, well, there are a few things that do, but it's one of the things that keeps you just from becoming super duper overpowered. Because you could just go to Tartarus one night and basically do everything if you had enough items and stuff.
It's kind of like how in P5 none of the characters ever get tired, so you can just slam through a fucking dungeon in one night if you're careful.
But there's also, like, as you get further in the game, characters get tired less. Like, it takes longer for them to get tired. I think it's pretty good. And also, for me, it just sells the idea that, like, this is gonna sound kind of pretentious maybe, but just like, they feel more like real people. They feel like actual, like, characters that have agency to them, and when they're not feeling good, they're just gonna be like, dude, like, have fun in Tartarus, but I ain't fucking going.
And even at the start of the game, each character has a different tolerance to how much they can explore Tartarus.
Yeah. When Akihiko comes in, he's able to go way longer than Yukari and Junpei.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Because he's the best boy!
Yeah, he's a Chad. But yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think I would probably, just for the sake of it being a remake, I would rebalance it. I would keep the getting tired mechanic. I would just rebalance it a bit to where it's, I don't know. I would have to think about it. But I'd want to
I would maybe ease up on it.
Yeah.
For like the first few weeks of the game, so that players can like really get used to exploring Tartarus, and then after those first few weeks, maybe have it contextualized as the characters are getting more strain on their bodies, so they're not able to explore as much because they need to take more time to rest. So then after maybe half of the first month, then they start getting tired. So by that point, you've already been introduced to Tartarus, you've been exploring a lot, and then after that, the characters, their bodies are straining, so they have to rest more. I think that would be a much better way to handle it, because you get the player used to exploring Tartarus very early on, and you encourage them as much as possible to do so. Then, after the first half of the first month, there starts to be stipulations where the player has to be more careful and they have to manage their time better.
That
I
actually
think that
makes
would be a much better way of doing that.
that actually makes a lot of sense, because there's also the idea of when these, because they're high schoolers, right? When these kids first start going into this, there's kind of an excitement to it. There's like a thrill to this adventure and the unknown and all that. But like as it begins to catch up with them, like being up really late. I mean, it's an hour canonically, but they're still wearing themselves
They're
out.
experiencing the hour.
Right,
Other people
right.
aren't, but
Well,
they're still experiencing an entire hour of fighting, basically.
Yeah, they're wearing themselves out, and then they have school to worry about and all kinds of other stuff. Then it starts catching up to them, and they're just not able to do as much to a point where it's not like obnoxious or anything. Yeah, I think that makes sense, and that's a good idea, Mr. Belmont.
Thanks.
No problem, buddy.
Struggles you have to plan around, as it is one of the biggest limiting factors in how you're able to spend your time and how you're able to progress at a certain period of time. I also originally thought that the possibility of getting tired from studying at night was a terrible mechanic that should not be a part of a definitive edition. However, I think that because it is a use of time late at night in which you would also likely already be tired, makes it reasonable to become exhausted when you're trying to take it further.
Oh yeah.
It also implements a mind game in which you must choose whether or not you want to risk getting tired in order to gain a boost to your knowledge. Relating to this point, while Persona 4 and 5 have 5 social stats in which you level up over the course of the game to bring to a maximum level of 5 each, Persona 3 only has 3 social stats in which you level up to a maximum of 6 each. I believe that the game works just fine built around these 3 social stats, so I don't think that more need to be added, but rather, more parts of the game should be able to reflect how much you have worked on these increasing social stats.
I agree.
Also, as P3's main way of obtaining new personas is through shuffle time, this would return, and new
No,
variations
okay.
of how the
No, I'm gonna stop you right there. But
Actually, no, fuck
Thank
shuffle
you.
time.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if you guys like shuffle time.
I-
fucking hate shuffle time.
I can tolerate it in
Yeah.
P3 to an extent, but in P4, the original P4 shuffle time, oh my lord, it's terrible.
what's the,
Nick, you don't know P4's original shuffle time, do you?
Nope.
I don't either. Actually.
Okay,
Or I
so
don't
so
remember.
all of the cards, it starts out like Persona 3 shuffle time. All of the cards are laid out, then they face down. Then all of them start spinning in a fucking like spiral indefinitely. Like they all spin different directions rather than being on a 2D plane, it's in a 3D plane. So like
Oh, no.
there's like a middle point in between all of these intersecting lines that all of the cards basically spin on or like travel on, and like you have to stop the card that you want in the middle. It's fucking terrible. I'm probably describing it horribly, but it's not good. They all just fucking spin on these lines that go different directions throughout on the screen, and it makes me so angry.
That sounds.
Yeah, no, the way that this like I was so surprised it was so RNG based when I first played like P4, P3. Like, because P5 you just kind of like negotiate and shit, and like
Yeah.
from the beginning what shadow you're working with. Here it's just like, oh, who fucking knows? So you finally get it. So
Well, I think it was mostly because of the fact that in P4 and P5, the shadows had completely unique designs, and they didn't have designs that shared with personas and stuff.
Yeah.
And so the only way that they could do it is if Makoto was just like, hey, random spirit that I just came into contact with, get in my heart, please.
I like the
True.
idea of. I think I would. Well, I mean, I still wouldn't like it, but I'd be fine with shuffle time if there was a consistency to what every card was. So, like, if there's 3 cards, you don't get it all the time. I mean, that's how it is now. But you don't get it all the time, and there's always a random selection between health and magic, a random selection of, just a weapon, right? And then, whatever it is totally randomized. And then a persona. Like, it's guaranteed to be all 3 of those things, but what persona or what weapon it is, or whether it's health or magic, is randomized. I think that would be, some consistency, I think, would just go a long way.
But then there's also the fact that at some point in the game, the only thing shuffle time is useful for is if you either want to restore your health or if you want to get yen, because you already through the game, your personas are probably customized to your liking. So taking in a new persona from the shuffle time, probably not that appealing of an idea, and shuffle time probably doesn't give enough of a boost to experience to be worth that much. So it's basically like, all right, health yen, I'll take it. And if it's neither of those, it's basically just like, well,
Ooh.
I've either got a persona I'm gonna get rid of, or I've got a weapon I'm gonna get rid of.
What if
Yay!
What if one of the things you could get in shuffle time, put all of your party members in great condition, or if it was like one of the cursed ones, it could make everyone sick.
That too.
Interesting.
That too. That would be interesting, but I would prefer to just be able to negotiate with the
Yeah.
shadows.
Yeah.
But then again, I also like all of the designs for the shadows that are unique in Persona 3, so I would probably just have like a mixture of the two.
I'm honestly not sure.
Actually,
what I would do.
I would make it to where okay, so every shadow is contextualized. Like every shadow in the overworld is contextualized as like actually like a group of shadows, right? So you could have the shadows that were designed uniquely for Persona 3 as peons, and then the actual like persona shadows or demons or whatever are like the leaders of that little squadron. So you can still negotiate with them while still also having the original designs and having those not go to waste.
I want to find Vincent in Tartarus from Catherine. He's in P3 Portable. And I think it's awesome.
Also, there's pretty sure Pharos is also in Catherine.
Pharaohs. Oh, the yeah, Pharaohs.
Oh,
Yuri Lowenthal and Falsetto.
Yeah, basically.
Real quick, I do have to get going soon. Do you guys just wanna let's just like finish the video through and then just kind of give our thoughts in the end, maybe?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Sure.
There's only a few minutes left anyways, so I mean that's not exactly, just not a problem.
Let's do it then.
Through shuffle time, this would return, and new variations of how the cards would move would be added to keep shuffle time from becoming stale, considering how much you will have to encounter it.
Oh boy, this might be some hot take territory.
Big
As the
oof.
series has progressed, various features have been implemented that have improved the overall experience drastically, and some of these features should come back to bring the streamlined experience to Persona 3. For example, starting at Persona 4, weather was introduced, which added much more variety to when characters
I would
were and were
love
not
weather,
available,
actually.
as well as giving you an incentive to study by increasing the
I was sad that
amount
it
of
wasn't
knowledge
in
you gain when it
P5.
rains. Something else that having
Well,
a free rainy afternoon is also good.
Kinda.
for is reading.
Kinda.
And
In
reading is another
Mementos, I
effective way
guess.
of grinding social stats that, if implemented, would keep you from the monotony of going to drink coffee or going to karaoke every day. Something else that could be done in a similar vein is more jobs that you could take up to increase your social stats. P3P did that with a coffee shop, where instead of paying for coffee to get 1 point of charm, you work to gain a salary that increases as your charm and courage go up.
Oh, that's cool.
If other
I didn't know that.
opportunities like this were given for some of the other areas you have access to, that could solve the issue of having to do the same task every night, which brings me to my next point. In any given version of Persona 3, you can only go to the mall at night or stay in the dorm. In P5, you were eventually given access to everywhere you can go during the day at night. All that needs to be done is to add more locations that are accessible at night so it isn't as monotonous. Another more
Yeah,
minor change would
big
be to
agree.
make your party members' appearances separate
Especially
from the
the
armor they're
shrine.
wearing like Persona 4 and 5, so you can make them look like one thing and have a defense stat of another. And finally, a more non-essential addition that would make the game feel a little more modern would be something in the vein of the Vox Populi of Persona 4 Golden and the Thieves Guild of Persona 5. I never
Ooh.
used it, but I thought it was a
Really?
neat little feature that could be
It was
useful
cute.
sometimes.
I've
And it
never even
involved
used the
internet
Thieves Guild. I
connectivity,
legitimately
which is
don't
where
even
the
know
modern
what it
touch
does.
comes
I
in.
don't think it's
Maybe it could
necessary.
be added to track things
I think
like
it'd be
what
cool,
songs people listen to in Tartarus or other small statistics.
Yeah.
I basically only
It's a
used
nice
it for answers.
touch.
Yeah. Ooh, Tartarus. Ooh.
Tartarus. Let's see.
It's probably going to be the most contentious
And
part.
finally, the one thing that I really want to see some renovation in, the reason that I had to take a break from Persona 3, the increasingly dreary tower that you scale over the course of the game, Tartarus. I think it is intriguing in concept, but when you boil it down, all that's really happening is you walk around a floor, looking for stairs, fighting shadows on the way, and you keep doing it over and over again, for 256 floors.
True.
Quite a few of which you will be forced to go through multiple times to grind out your party in preparation for your monthly missions.
It's definitely
The only
repetitive.
thing distinguishing each floor from one another is a
But I
reskin of
also
different
don't
kind
mind
of
that too much.
stairs and a slight alteration to the OST that only change once every few dozen floors. There really are no new mechanics introduced
I
after
actually
the
like the
first 10 or
Tartarus
15
background
floors.
music.
Me too.
The first and
Plus, there's
foremost
other
change to
options.
Tartarus would be to add
Maybe a
something more
Fuka.
stimulating to do for 256 floors. Adding more variation between the extremely limited types of pre-made corridors that are randomly generated each time you enter a floor would aid this issue to an extent. But P3 could take some notes from P5 and add some more detail to Tartarus that is related to the boss that is coming at the end of the month.
Ooh,
Take
I
the
like
boss
that
where you
actually.
spin a
That's
wheel
a
to add
really
some
good
effect,
idea.
negative
Big
or
agree,
positive
big
to the
agree.
fight.
Maybe a
This
puzzle here
mechanic
and
could
there.
be implemented into that
Yeah.
month's block of Tartarus and add some interesting variety while also giving a preview to the boss, so they don't feel as random at times. Another addition that would be nice is an addition to the songs you can play in Tartarus on your MP3 player. They could take a song from P4 or 5 that could fit Tartarus, or even make 1 or 2 new songs if Atlas feels so inclined.
They could
A
bring in
change from
songs from other
P3P
games.
that I really did not like was having to pay to heal your party. I disliked it in P4 too, but I always finished each dungeon on the first day, so it didn't bother me. Ideally, warping back to the first floor would heal you and replenish your MP, but still have the ability to force tired members out, as a way of keeping you from progressing too far in one go, and just to be fair, because insta-healing when you warp back is really useful. In the production of this video, I had the thought that maybe something could be done so that Tartarus is faster to complete. I also thought that this might bring up the issue of being critically unprepared for the story as it progresses. So there's a give and take to this approach, as if you are going to have to grind senselessly anyway, this change does effectively nothing. That said, while I can't think of anything that would make Tartarus faster without compromising something else important, it doesn't need to be made shorter, it just needs to be made less repetitive.
Yeah.
Maybe some. Fuck.
This is my favorite transition ever.
Now, this video basically ended up being a list of demands, but my goal was to outline some things that I thought should be included in a definitive version of P3. Persona 3 is a fantastic game already, and this was only speculation on something that may not even happen. I just love the game and wanted to talk about it. I've been working on the script since the beginning of June, and at this point my main goal was to complete this to a satisfactory point so that I could finally work on something else, and I have a very different idea for our next video. It's something I haven't done on this channel yet, but I want to see how it goes. Thank you for watching me through this mess as I try to figure out where I want to go from here.
You are
I hope
welcome.
that you'll consider watching one of my other videos.
King.
Preferably
I'll go ahead and stop there just because we're kind of at an outro.
Pretty good video.
Yeah.
Pretty good video. Very well structured.
Nice guy.
That is, I never thought about that somehow, and I feel dumb for not having thought of it. The having each section of Tartarus be representative of the next boss coming in. Like, oh, that's a fucking good idea, actually.
Yeah, considering the fact that most of the areas are locked behind the
The
full
gates.
moon shadows anyway.
Yeah. That is a pretty cool
Mm-hmm.
idea. Yeah,
Big good idea.
I definitely agree. The biggest thing about Tartarus is just that it's repetitive. I don't even think the design, well, the concept is flawed. It's just, it's pretty repetitive.
Yeah, like that's the thing for me. Like the more I think about it, like I'm starting to like remember what I like. It's like, okay, I played this game first because my brother recommended it to me. Like he played P3 before I did, and he loves it. Like I can tell. Like he really left a mark on him. Like he adores this game, but he was just like, also, yeah, this is probably the worst, grinding I've ever done in a game. Like it is like the worst gameplay experience I've ever had. And I was kind of like scared playing P3 because I was like, okay, my brother doesn't usually complain about games like that, so I'm like, damn, this must be rough. And when I played it, like, dude, like Tartarus, I couldn't stand it. I hated Tartarus. Could not put it into words. Just like how repetitive it was and how long it is. Like, if I hadn't played Persona before and knew the juice was it's coming, just gotta bear through it. Like, I don't think I would have finished it because it's genuinely like, for me at least, that repetition and just how long it is and how like. Just it doesn't change. Like it's the same fucking randomized maze, and it's like so many of them in a row. I can't do it. So I think that would be like the biggest thing they'd need to tackle somehow. Because yeah, for newer players like me, just not knowing what they're getting into, it's really really daunting.
I think for myself, I love the idea of just games in general, where like you really have to work towards. Kind of earning a victory, if that makes sense. And I feel like Tartarus does a good job of, especially as you get further on, and especially as you encounter this fucking blue table, which is for some reason really hard. The idea of each section of Tartarus feeling like a milestone. I definitely think that needs to be preserved, but yeah, it's one of those things where like there needs to be some repetition, I think. Because, if you could just breeze through, well, not even breeze through Tartarus, but, if it was just something you could consistently just go through X amount of floors per night whenever you go, I think it would kind of become an afterthought almost. Like, you would really only care about the boss that you get to at the end. And I think where it is now, the reason it appeals to me is because especially as you get further in and stuff starts getting really hard, like every floor feels, oh my god, especially when there's like long gaps between bosses, like 17 floors or some crazy shit like that.
Yeah,
and you're just
it's very nerve-wracking.
Yeah, like you get further in, but you're getting lower on supplies. You got like one tired party member, and it's like, oh man, like you really have to think out what you're gonna do if you encounter something and you have to make sure that you're not getting ambushed, so you're at a disadvantage. Things like that, I really appreciate. But yeah, I think for me, the thing I would fix is not even necessarily to do with Tartarus. It would just be the shuffle card, whatever thing, and
Shuffle time.
yeah, and also just having I guess consistent ways to well, I don't know, I guess variety in approaches that you can take, because at the start of the game you know you have Orpheus, you might get lucky and get like Jack Frost or something, right? But other than that, you're just pushing through Tartarus basically, and it's not really till further in where like you have multiple party members, you know, you have a lot of different personas you can play around with, items, weapons, and things like that. And that's when you can really start strategizing more. But like at the start, you're just raw pushing through Tartarus.
I think some puzzles might be able to spruce Tartarus up a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know.
And I think I'm actually in the minority here, because out of Persona 4, 5, and 3, Tartarus is definitely my favorite area to explore out of all 3 of those games.
It's my favorite too. Mostly for the concept though. Just like the idea of having this one goal for the entire game, and like, you know, the final boss isn't waiting for you at the top, but they will be, you know? Like, you know, it'll be at the very end of the game. That to me is really cool.
It actually comes
Gotcha.
to the point where you're waiting for the final boss more than they're waiting for you.
Yep, I think Tartarus, if done proper in a remake, like could very easily, I think, be the best Persona dungeon. It would definitely take some work though to be able to.
You would probably just have to give it a complete overhaul.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that. The YouTuber I like, Fither, he loves Persona 3, but he's like, you just need to rework Tartarus. I'm like, damn. I feel it. I like it. I kind of like the idea of a remake doing something completely different, and then, you know, you can compare the old to the new and see what each one does right or wrong. I'm also down with
Believe
that.
me, I don't. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I like that idea of both being pretty different. What were you about to say?
Yeah.
After Final Fantasy VII Remake, I don't know how I feel about that sentiment.
Well, you know, you can do it right or you can do it wrong.
Yeah, I would say Remake. I would say 7 Remake is a little bit in the wrong direction.
Demon
But,
Souls
that's just
PS5 remake is a great example of changing a lot of things, but it's still being true to the original and being such a great video game. Demon Souls is my 2020 game of the year. It's awesome.
So we're all in agreement. Ken is the worst, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, cool. Video
just,
done. I mean, there's no discussion that needs to be taken further.
Ken worst, Akihiko best. I think, you know, it's perfectly reasonable. Although,
Big agree.
Although I don't know how I feel about Nick not saying Koromaru is the best mascot.
Yeah. No, the thing is, bro, he doesn't do anything. He's just a fucking dog.
Big
Oh,
He's
he's a
there.
dog.
I
He's a
don't know.
dog. Go for walks.
I find it funny that he's the only character in all of P3 that doesn't have a fucking awakening.
That's true. Yeah, he just
Yeah.
he doesn't have. I remember
He just has Cerberus all game.
I remember when I was watching the Persona 3 movies with my ex. She was like, "How the fuck's this dog gonna shoot himself in the head?" I'm just like, "He doesn't." She's like, "What?"
Has a collar.
Shock collar.
Yeah, that's kind of badass. Koromaru's so fucking cool.
How does Aigis summon her persona spinny headphone?
She's robot. She is a robot. But oh man, I was really happy to have someone that we've covered before on here, and someone who was a wonderful sport about it all as well. Because, you know, we criticize a lot of people, and, you know, it comes off as harsh. I don't think we criticize Nick too much, to be fair. Like,
No, we're definitely like Nick was definitely the one we've liked the most out of all the people we've covered.
big time.
I am honored. Thank you. Yeah, no, it was super fun. And yeah, that's the thing. Like, that video specifically was so funny to me that it kind of blew up. Like, this is like my side channel, really, where I just kind of like throw my thoughts. I do random playthroughs. And like, I had so much pent up anger after finishing P3 from like how annoyed I was at the gameplay that I was like, all right, I'm making a video about this and I'm complaining about P3. And I just kind of did it. Like, it was super like, I just kind of talked. I said all my lines and like, I like really loosely edited together and just like shit out a video just because I wanted to express my thoughts somewhere into the void. And it blew, like it picked up a lot of steam. I did not expect it to get like, it's like 40K views now. And it's like all the comment
video like by far, at least on that channel, I think.
Yeah, on that channel by far. Like I think my next most has like 2K or something like that. And that's the thing. Like I'm not like on that channel for me. It's just like my side thing I do for fun. So it was like funny to me that so many people are like, you are failing as a YouTuber because you're like my dislike ratio in that video is insane. Like I have never had a video get that many dislikes before, and so. It's funny, but it kind of turned out for the better because got to meet you guys. It was really cool being on the show. So yeah, no, thanks for having me, guys.
Just
no problem.
Know that
Anytime.
Oh, you gotta go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying
what was
anytime.
that?
I was just saying anytime, and I'm pretty sure Elle's about to say.
Oh yeah.
You're welcome on the show again.
Yeah, I was gonna say you are more than welcome to come back on again. You are. Sometimes we do. We join the voice chats of the Sierra Madre. That's our Discord server, by the way. You should join, faithful viewer. And we'll be just playing games and just chatting about stuff. And you're of course welcome to all of that. You are hopefully proud, very welcome member of our Discord and our community and our. If we're ever gonna cover P3 again or anything that interests you, and you see the announcement, and you're like, oh hey, you want me on that? Then you are more than welcome to be. Then you are more than welcome to join us.
Oh, sounds like a good deal, boys. Thanks again for having me, and have a good night, viewers, and you guys as well.
You as well.
Have a good one, Nick. Take care.
You too. See ya.
What a cool
I would
guy.
say that went fairly well. Yeah, what a fucking cool guy.
This is gonna be the shortest fucking episode ever. Oh my, we're at 2.5
I
hours.
know.
And to be
Holy
fair, like the
fuck.
first 40 minutes, I don't even know if I'm gonna have the full 40 minutes. I'm gonna be straight with you, but like, because the first 40 minutes or whatever is us, like me doing the Mayo Yuri's and bullshit and chatting with you about
Yeah,
it.
I wouldn't include that considering it's not relevant to the video.
Yeah, it's true. I'll probably at least this render isn't gonna take up fucking eternity.
Yeah, holy fuck. The shortest fucking S.E.E.S video apart from episode 2. My lord.
Episode 2 is gonna be the forgotten episode. We're gonna reference it all the time though. But
Yeah. We'll have to fucking get to cover Death Battle within the next century.
And I didn't bring it up earlier, but this is the first episode with the debut of the Sierra Madre art by Luce Belmont, which you will be seeing in the where the video would normally be when the video is not playing. And it's pretty awesome.
Lovely.
I think it's pretty cool. Yeah,
I'm glad you like it.
Luce did an excellent job. Commenters, let him know. Go and comment on his video. Don't even fucking like or subscribe to him. Just go comment on his videos. Be like, hey man, you're a good artist. Just like, oh thanks, you should like and subscribe. No, I just want to say you're a good artist. It's like, oh,
No,
okay.
just the art. That's all I care about.
No, but what are we gonna do after this?
I mean, like I said, we get those Death Battle videos. We're gonna have to fucking work to find something else to cover. That's for sure.
We do have a Death Battle to cover. We have a couple other things that I'm wanting to cover regarding Devil
We
May
have a
Cry.
couple Death Battles.
We have a couple other DMC stuff, mainly with DMC 3 and 4, and a couple of reboot things that, we'll get into that at some
Really?
point. Yeah, if you check the S.E.E.S coverage playlist, which
Right.
you have access to, I think. If you have the
Yes,
link saved.
I do.
If you don't, I can always send it to you, of course. But
I've got it saved on the as a playlist on the YouTube
nice.
account that I use for recreation.
Nice. Yeah, I've got a few ideas. There's, of course, we're gonna get to the Death Battle stuff at some point. It's not gonna be edited like episode 2. It's gonna be us just watching the whole thing and being like, dang, this is terrible. No, I'm joking. Maybe it's really good. Who fucking knows?
They made a new Link versus Cloud, which I don't have high hopes for.
I will say, we dog on Death Battle a lot. People are gonna be like, "Oh, you're just going in, you will fucking disagree." No. There are some Death Battles I think that are actually really good. Sam Fisher versus Solid Snake is a fucking awesome Death Battle.
Raiden versus Wolverine.
Raiden versus Wolverine was good. There was another.
Don't know
one.
why he's using Sam's blade instead of his own, but
My favorite Death Battle is a Dante versus Bayonetta. I thought it was great.
It's a good one.
Yeah, that's a really fucking.
I'll be-
The voice acting's but that's Death Battle. The voice acting is always kind of meh.
I'll be right back. I have to fucking use the bathroom real bad.
Okay. But yeah, I'm not too sure. We do, there are a couple other ideas for S.E.E.S, which I'm going to talk about when Luce gets back, because I'm going to be calling him out. He needs to play a certain game that I'm wanting to cover, that I think I've mentioned before, that I've got him into playing. And he seems to be liking it so far. He just needs to fucking play it. And we'll get to that in a moment. But yeah, I think that this episode, even though it's one of the shorter ones, I think it's going to be a really good one to have. Us just chatting with someone that we've covered and having a good old time. Nick's a fucking cool guy. If you're watching this and listening to this, Mr. Nick, we love you. We love you very much. I don't know if you noticed. I meant to ask you about Shuckle. Oh no. But Mr. Nick, if you are listening, and if you don't know this, so Shuckle right here, my pet Shuckle, Shuck L, because I'm fucking clever. He is his kiss is the C seal of approval. If you get the Shuckle smooch, that means that you are approved of. And at one point, I went over to your little profile. And I was like, it was a good old time. Shuckle likes you. Yep. I think this was a cool episode, and I like the person we covered. They were kind of quiet. I had to turn them up. I don't know how the audio is going to sound, but I had to turn them up a bit. Let me go to the actual. So Gabby Extreme 363. Very much liked them. I thought they were, they were pretty to the point about a lot of their stuff, but I thought they had good reasons for what they were saying. It wasn't like super in-depth or anything, and that's perfectly fine. I don't think every video needs to be fucking, 3.5 hours long of bullshit, and I think that it's one of the better pitches, not even a pitch, I guess, but, it's one of the better brainstormings of a Persona 3 remake, because, a lot of people are kind of extreme. Like, you have people, admittedly like myself, who want to keep a lot of things exactly as they were, but just kind of upping them. And then you have some people who want to make it like P5, and I don't really care for that too much. Hey, Luce, you should play Mass Effect, because I want to cover it on S.E.E.S.
Oh my god, I'm gonna get to it. Jesus Christ!
How far are you in Mass Effect, bro? Did you even finish the fucking asteroid thing yet?
I haven't finised the asteroid thing yet. I was going to yesterday, but I had an update that I had to install that's still not done.
What the fuck?
Leave me alone.
Why is it not done?
I don't know.
We're gonna get to Mass Effect at some point. I actually don't.
I'm gonna finish Mass Effect. I promise you.
Put your DMC5 no damage stuff on hold for now and play Mass Effect.
I will.
Thank you. Here, you'll get a Shuckle smooch.
I also have to finish P5 Royal, because Lord knows we should cover that sometime.
Well, I mean, yeah, we should. Well, I don't know. That means I have to replay it, and that's a long game. Not that I don't want, it's a good game. I really enjoy it.
If I have to play Mass Effect, you have to play something that I want you to play.
Well, I mean, I've already played P5 Royal, that's the thing, so most of it I would just be, well, I couldn't fast forward because we'd be saying, it's a long game. And I've already played it, so it's like, eh.
Play P5.
You know what? We are both going to play at some point soon, though. And we might be covering on S.E.E.S. And Luce Belmont might be making a video about it.
On Mass Effect?
The Matrix of the Blood Vessel, if you will.
You're talking about Anime Souls, right?
Yeah. Good old Cobain.
Yeah, no, so to spoil the surprise a little bit, I've decided, after careful deliberation and multiple videos scrapped, because I want my first analysis video to be really fucking good, and I want it to be something that I'm really proud of, so I don't want to half-ass it.
As you should.
I have decided that a game that I have mixed feelings on, but am very passionate about, that's the game that I'm going to make my first review / analysis on, and it's Code Vein, because I've got a lot to, or at least I remember having a lot to say about it whenever I played it for the first time back at the it was either the tail end of 2019, yeah, it was the tail end of 2019 or the beginning of 2020. So yeah, I believe that I can firmly say that will, unless hell freezes over, be my first review released.
I'm gonna do like I've done before, and I'm gonna keep pushing you to fucking do it.
I know,
Believe
me.
At some point.
I know. Which is funny because you keep telling me to play Mass Effect, but I've also got a fucking review I need to make.
Yeah, it's true. So, yeah, I insist, I demand, for your Code Vein video, at least 8 minutes be dedicated to Coco, because she is the best girl.
Well, it's kind of funny because despite the fact that she's the best girl, like, she doesn't have that much in terms of characterization and development.
How dare, wow,
But
these fucking
she has
S.E.E.S guys,
she
not even
has,
played the game, and he's already talking shit. What a fucking asshole. These
But-
S.E.E.S guys, am I right?
but she has the biggest tits, and that by default kind of just makes her the best character.
Yes. You can spend 8 minutes just talking about those fucking things.
I probably will, just for the sake of the fucking meme. I'll probably just. I know I have one thing to say about the physics of them, and it's not even what happens whenever she like moves. When you go into photo mode, there's like a certain fucking pose you can do where your character slams onto the ground, and they like create a shockwave. And if you do it near Coco, her tits just go fucking ballistic. Like they stretch to ungodly proportions.
I gotta see
Yeah,
this.
no. Yeah, next time you go into Code Vein, just fucking do a certain... I don't remember what the pose is. I think it was like superhero pose or whatever. Do it near Coco while she's standing up straight. And, yeah.
Are we going to do the DLC also, or are we just gonna do the base game?
Okay, I will probably...
The DLC. I know nothing about it. I only got the base game because it was on sale at one point for like $19 or some shit.
I will probably... I don't know. I would like to cover the DLC, but what I will probably... Because I'm probably going to do it like your PT series, where I structure each... I have multiple videos, and we cover various parts of the game in each video. Like, the story is one video... and then like the gameplay is a separate video, and like it'll probably be 2 long videos. So what I'll probably do is I'll make a 3rd video talking about the DLC because I want to cover as much as I can.
That's fair.
And if you're actually trying to like help me on the game and actually like co-op with me, we're gonna be playing Code Vein a lot. I just want you to know.
We just need to ensure that we can co-op it.
That's why after we're done recording, we should definitely test that out.
I need to download it. That won't take too long, I don't think, for me to download.
Probably not, given your fucking chat-ass internet.
I have on the Spectrum internet, okay? I don't want to fucking hear anything about Chad internet over here.
I have terrible internet.
Is it
but I was able to... I don't know that... I don't remember. But it's able to run co-op on Dark Souls, so...
That's true.
Dark Souls Remastered.
With RX.
And I don't think...
He's in Canada, so...
Yeah, and so you, who is also in the US, should be able to run it.
At least it's not like fucking DMC5 where it's...
It's an extremely graphically intensive game that's also extremely fast-paced.
I was just gonna say a vague tether keeping 2 players together unless they pause or skip a cutscene or some weird bullshit.
Yeah, the multiplayer DMC5 is so fucking weird. Even if you pick up like gold orbs, like it'll fucking boot you out of co-op because it's technically pausing the game.
I have a little announcement on my own. I am looking to get a PC. Well, I mean, y'all already know that I'm looking to get a PC. So is Luce, of course, but, you know, PCs are kind of expensive right now, especially with GPUs being scalped. Also, I'm going to take this opportunity to say it. I'm pretty sure I've said it before when talking about the PS5, but scalpers, I don't want you on my channel. If you're subscribed to my channel and you're a scalper, I want you to go and kill yourself. No, I'm just kidding.
Get up. Oh my god, Jesus Christ!
Don't do that. Don't do that. But you should stop scalping because that is some toxic bullshit. And especially during a world pandemic, like that shit pisses me off so fucking much. Anyways, it's whatever. But yes, I'm looking to get a PC, and I'm probably going to be getting it next month for my birthday. My birthday's in
Jesus Christ
1 month and 2 days. By then, I'll have about what I'm looking at is in the range of about. It's gonna be expensive still, but it's in the range of about 1K to 12K. Not 12K. Not 12K. 12,000.
1.2K.
1.2K. Yeah. Not fucking 12K.
That's probably the range that I'll go to, but it's probably going to be a while before I can get mine.
Yeah, I've been I've been putting some money aside for it for a while, and my new job, man, this job's fucking awesome. I don't know if I've talked about what I do on S.E.E.S. I embroider scrubs for hospitals, vets, doctors, etc. And it's a pretty simple job, but I like it because it makes me feel like I'm kind of involved in it. Not as a critical member or anything. But yeah, it's something worth doing. And love my coworkers. Coworkers are great. Pays great. Hours are great.
It's a good cause.
Oh, actually, this Friday, the Juneteenth, which I'm hoping to have this posted on, because it'd be cool. For those who don't know, Juneteenth is when slavery was abolished in the U.S. and full-time employees where I work get that time off. We get that day off paid, which is fucking based. Slavery's bad, by the way. I don't know if we've ever, hot take maybe, but slavery's not very good. Any thoughts on that, Luce? Do you want to?
So I fucking hate women.
And that's where I stop recording.